Hello everyone, my name is Isaac Odinaka. A lot of persons have this misguided information about websites. They have very high expectations before creating a website, and when they create one and they are unable to realize some of these their expectations, they get frustrated or they feel burnt out, and most times they never renew the website or they dump it. They see no reason why to continue with the website. So in this video tutorial, I'll be discussing with you some of these website myths and the truth about them. Myth number one: a lot of persons think once they have a website, they will automatically attract visitors. The truth is that's a very big lie. Creating a website, you are just halfway done on your online journey. There are a lot of things to really get people to visit your website. You need to create valuable content, and not just content. Your content should be search engine optimized. That is, it should be optimized in such a way that search engine will get your website discovered in time. You have to run ads, you have to make valuable content, make video, guest posts, a lot of other things you should do. You have to encourage people to visit your website. After creating a website, your job is just started, right? You need to do serious work for people to get to visit your website and see what service you render or products you sell. Myth number two: some persons think there's a particular kind of business that needs a website. Some persons think it's just e-commerce store that needs a website. The truth about it is, in this age that we are now, every set of business or every kind of business needs a website. Even if you're a brick and mortar store, you render service, you're a plumber, you're an electrician, every business needs to be on the internet, and one of such ways is through a website. You might be receiving sales right now, but it's not guaranteed. With the current trend of everybody embracing the online presence, if you are not found on the internet, when you decide to get online, it might be very difficult for you to find your way because a lot of person has migrated. So I think every business should own a website and grow with the trend, not when everybody's already there and you're struggling to be there. Myth number three is, some person think once they have a beautiful website, it will automatically start bringing sales and generating income. The truth about it is that well-designed or a beautiful website is just for user experience, right? So that people can navigate through your website, get information they need with ease. Might attract people to just look at your website because it looks good, but that does not in any way going to increase your sales. What is going to increase your sales is how good your services or your products is, what kind of content you put on your website. Even the content you put on your website, if your services is not good, people that have tried it once will not want to come back again. And the bulk of sales in business comes from most time referral. So having a website and having a poor service or a poor product is counterproductive. So don't be carried away that, or don't use all of your time you should be using to improve your products or services in trying to make a very beautiful, a very nice looking website. They can't forget good products or good service they've once received, or even reading a very nice content. Myth number four is, a lot of persons think once they've succeeded in building a website, the whole thing is done. The truth about it is, once your website is launched, it does not just end there, right? Just like your normal store, you pay rent every day. You have to pay rent for your website. You have to pay for domain name. That particular name, you pay for it either yearly or biannually, whichever plan you opted for. Aside the domain name, you also pay for hosting. Hosting is a server on the internet that your website sits upon. But a lot of persons don't understand this. They think once they've built a website, there's nothing more to pay, right? You have to keep maintaining these things, you have to keep paying these rents, and you have to keep updating the content. It doesn't have to be static, because a dynamic website makes search engine to always visit your sites, and it always shows that you're an authority because your contents are always changing. Each time they come back, they will see valuable content on your website. So launching your website is not where it ends. A lot of other things still has to be done. Myth number five is, a lot of people think building a website is so expensive, but in reality, a good website is not that expensive or neither cheap, right? There are a lot of tools on the internet you can use to get your website online, even for free, right? There are tools like Wix, WordPress. If you know your way around, you can always get yourself one. it's not also cheap, in the sense that using all of this free content requires a lot of things. Like you might need graphics designs, you might need to design a logo, you might need to orderly arrange your content for ease of navigation, you might want to write blog posts. These are several skill sets that you might not possess, and you wouldn't want to shabbishly show out your business out there, because people are used to very good quality websites, and once they come across your website that you try to do yourself, you find out that, man, if they can't afford a very professional website, why would I want to do business with them? They are not professional, right? So most times we advise you hire professionals. That is their job to get people websites, but it's not actually that expensive per pay, and also it's not also that cheap if you wish to go for the free tools online on the internet. This is the big one, myth number 6. A lot of persons think once they launch their website, they want to find their business at the top of Google search. Man, in reality, that will never happen, right? No matter how unique you think your product is, you will never find yourself in Google first page, not to talk of ranking top. Ranking top, there are a lot of formulas Google put in place to rank websites. A lot of it is, some people think because they run ads on Google search and they want to appear top. No, getting your websites to be seen Google first page or even ranking top requires a lot of hard work, right? You have to be consistently updating your websites, putting valuable content, and people are always staying on your websites, right? There's a lot of things for Google to consider your website to be on their first page or even on their top position. So if you have that thought that because your website is out there today, in the next week, months, you want your website to be you want your website to be on Google first page or rank top, man, just wake up from your slumber. That rarely happens. The good thing about it is, the earlier you start, the better for you to be ranked higher in subsequent years. Generally, websites becomes valuable after like 3 to 6 months, right? That is when it starts getting attractions. People begins to see your content. Google begins to show people your website and a lot of it. Most times it doesn't happen in the first 3 months. So once you get your website outside there, you should just be patient and keep updating and be consistent. Myth number 7. A lot of persons try to inculcate so much features on their website, but the truth about it is people really don't care about these features you add on your website. People want minimal things to get their things done. In short, when you give people too much options, they most time end up not taking any action. So you should limit the kind of feature you have on your website. All of those fancy bells and pop-ups and all of it, most times you really don't need it. Just add call to actions that are very important to your business, right? Don't make people having so much trouble trying to decide on an action to take on your website. Very few call to actions. It's okay per page, right? From each page you can take them to the next action, rather than having all of the actions you want them to take on a particular page. So far so good. These are some of the myths that we've been able to gather, but that does not mean that is all. So when next you hear people talk about websites and a lot of so many promises, at least with these few points you are already abreast with the truth and the myths. But the truth about it is, the earlier you create your websites, the better for you, irrespective of your kind of business. Once you've started today, it's always going to be valuable in few months, years time from today. So try and get your website. If you enjoy this content, like our video, follow us, subscribe so that we get notified when next we post similar content. And if you have any concern about creating a website, we are open, always ready to hear from you. Thank you. I remain Isaac Odinaka.